Open my watch. Oh, stop yelling at
When
me,
is
girl.
your birthday?
Okay, everyone look away.
Thanks.
Cool. That's
Okay,
interesting.
you're ready to go play.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Phew, hey, how chaotic. Hi, Twitch. I'm Natti-Lin. You guys are Twitch. We are back in Rec Room. Give me 1 second. I gotta share this out. And it's okay that I'm running a little late because apparently the Q&A also has some issues. Where was I gonna share this? Is it in general? Ugh, okay. Alright, so we got a dev Q&A. It's gonna be really cool, so let's check that out when it starts. Eventually. Hi. Do you mind? Do it one more time. That's your last warning. Thanks, Juju. I have very little patience for that kind of behavior. Can you hear me? I thought my audio was on. Yeah, my audio's on. The devs said the room isn't even letting them in, so they're working on it. I had people invite me to the other rec center, but it's full. Can you hear me? I can't hear anybody. I'm gonna leave and come back. Can you guys hear me? Because that's the important part, let's be honest. I can hear me. I sound pretty. Just kidding. I'm not that egotistical. There we go.
Oh, we can't go in here. The door's blocked off. It's hazard.
Hey, Daddy!
I was in the game for 2 minutes before I had to kick somebody.
Oh, dear.
That's standard.
Yeah. He kept, like, punching my face after I told him to stop.
Wow.
There's
Yep,
always one of
that'll
those.
do it.
There's always
Yeah.
at least one of those.
Yep. So this is fun.
Have you guys been prompted for your birthdays then?
Yep. I was like, of course that happens as I'm starting my stream, so that's fine. Now everyone knows my birthday.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was. That
It's
was
no
great.
longer it's no longer the event.
Yeah, I jumped
Someone
in
go
and I went
through
to
it.
the lounge.
No, it's the lounge now.
Yeah,
Oh.
it turned into the lounge.
They probably had to, like, turn it off, and they're gonna turn it back on since they're having issues.
Yeah, they probably had problems.
Yeah.
They have a reboot.
Yeah, because Sean
No,
posted it
definitely,
wasn't
yeah.
letting them
I
in
did
either.
the same exact thing. He did it first.
You know how whenever you're not feeling good, someone tells you to go take a
doesn't
nap
mean
and you'll feel
anything.
better afterwards? You ever think that that's
Yeah,
the
most said they
human
were having
equivalent of turning it
issues,
off and
so-
turning it back on again to see if that fixes the problem?
Yeah.
Oh, it totally is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
worked in IT for a couple years, and that was definitely the #1 way to fix everything.
Oh yeah. If it's not, if the
Yeah, and
computer's
then you
acting
worked
weird,
in,
the first thing you do is like,
psychology.
if you can't fix it, if you can't figure it out before you ask for help,
Hey, what's
reboot
up,
the
Baller?
computer.
Exactly.
Hey, wait, who said that?
Right here, right here.
Hey,
What's up,
Baller.
Baller?
Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh my gosh!
Hi,
Oh,
Baller.
How are you?
Baller.
From
seen
what
you
I
in a while.
understand about IT, it's one, turn it off and turn it on again,
I am
and
well,
two,
thank you.
have good Google foo.
Yeah.
Yep.
They all said baller.
Ask Google.
Like,
If we didn't know,
Yeah.
we
Just
we
don't ask
really
Google
did
what your
stuff.
password is.
Google.
At
happy.
all.
Everyone's like, you're just like, oh, hey,
No,
boss.
I've seen this
I was-
happen.
I-
There was a
no,
there was
I-
a site
I was stressed.
that something got screwed up in the algorithm, but it was a
Yes.
blog
No,
and
you
it was
would.
talking about Facebook.
Yes, I
I would.
was.
And they somehow became the #1 result on
Definitely
Google
Q&A.
for like a day. Like
Oh,
something
I
went
didn't get
wrong,
in.
and they ended up #1 on Google for Facebook.
Thank you.
Oops.
And people were going to the comments going, "I don't like the new look, and I can't figure out how to log in. My password is X."
Oh
They
no!
were, and we're not talking like once or twice. We're talking hundreds
Oh,
of
that's
people doing this.
hilarious. Oh, I guess we're going. Or not. That didn't work.
No, it's not working yet. The developers posted they're having a problem.
Nope, there are people in there now.
That's
Your
exactly
face
what
was just
You
happened.
guys
like
made
the
it. I didn't know
got
that
a new
was
hat.
cheap.
Okay.
I got
invited
by a dev. Oh yeah.
Oh no! I'm not good at thumbs up yet.
You can get behind the stage and
Alright,
play
we have
games.
all our people
hi,
here,
Ricky.
yeah, Josh.
I had to go get a good seat.
Dribbly.
Don't do it though.
He is
Lose
standing up.
Alkmaar.
Why would I do it?
I'm right here.
Dude, really warm out there somewhere.
Do I need to stay here though? Because I created the room.
No, it'll hold.
Do you guys have the ability to like silence people and everything?
Yeah,
We're prepping you into staying here.
we should.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alright,
Alright, everyone, welcome to the
Much appreciated.
laser tag Alpha Weekend Q&A. Feel free to ask questions about what laser tag will be, or the cheer system, or the changes to the maker pen, anything that we shipped in this release. From a hand, I'll call on you, and then these guys will answer your questions.
Wait, don't we have a theme song or something we can play?
About the update.
Yeah, go ahead. Sing your theme song, yeah.
I just want to know what it is. Oh, there's a.
All right, here we go. Let's get some questions. First question from Otto here.
And then we're doing laser tag.
How long does it take for the cheers to
I know. I
reset?
heard that was coming out.
How long does it take
made
to
it.
reset?
I don't know.
There's an event going on today too.
You will get more cheers the more you play Rec Room, and the better Rec Room citizen you are.
Oh, cool.
That is.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. That's a Sean question, and he may not tell you even if you find him and ask him.
Yes. Jag 111, what do you got?
So when we're playing charades, it's really hard to change colors quickly with the new gun. What do you guys think about that?
Yes, we 100% agree. We're probably going to go through one more update cycle with the too complicated make a pen and charades, and then we'll fix it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna have a nice easy mode for charades pen.
Sweet.
Woo! Good.
Nelly, what do you got?
When does the paintball come out?
Which paintball? Laser tag?
Oh,
in about 40 minutes.
It's actually under your chair. If you reach under your chair.
So when we're done with this Q&A at 5 o'clock,
I'm scared that they know I keep a laser rifle
laser
underneath
tag
my
will be
chair.
available.
For the whole weekend.
For the whole weekend until Sunday evening.
No one asks questions. The Q&A will end, and we can go play laser tag.
It's not going away. It's just only here for a little while.
Josh, hang on, everybody. One question at a time. Josh, we got a question. Why is laser tag going away after this weekend?
Well, so we are planning on working on laser tag for a long time with a lot of your help. So we want to make laser tag something that a lot of the community really loves, and so we're trying to release it sort of step by step. So we're going to give you a little taste of what it's like to play, get a lot of feedback from all of you, and then make it better.
Alfie, your question. What do you got?
I have a request for the person with the 3D pen. Could you draw me a perfect flat circle?
A perfect flat circle? Well, I could do a perfect box or a perfect sphere. We haven't done it for spheres yet.
Can Gribbly draw a perfect flat circle?
He wants me to draw time.
Can.
That's what I'd like.
Well, hang on.
With the cylinder.
Forget
That's an
No, I
orange.
can't do that yet. We didn't make that work yet. Oh yeah, no, actually, sorry, we did. Look at that. I lied.
Yeah,
we made it work.
It's not flat. It's right here. It's not flat.
It was just a circle, Cam.
Oh, I
The
see
point
what you're
he's
saying.
making is that you can't
I
make it
see what you're
flat.
saying.
Perfect circle.
The
No, I
circle,
can't do that.
the sphere, you can make
You
it
wanna-
flat.
I see. So you want, you want this kind of sphere, this kind of cylinder, but perfectly
Really thin.
circular. Right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be.
Yeah, we can't do that yet. But noted.
Yeah.
We'll make it so you can.
But
All
I
right,
have
we've
to
got a
make
question
cake.
from Juju Plays.
Okay,
You can have this
so
one.
this is more of a suggestion, and I
There you
just
go.
thought, like, when I was like waiting for the time for this event, I was like seeing like how, like, you actually made it the time of the actual. Anyways, I wanted to know if you can like make custom watches like as an accessory, so like everyone can have different kinds of what they want.
I've been wanting that forever.
Really, what do you think about that? Different watches as accessories.
Yeah. Whoa. Oh, hey.
Hey!
Yeah, we'd like to get to that. I'm not sure exactly when we'll get to that, but that does seem like a fun
Gribbly
idea
has
for sure.
Something stuck to his head.
Oh yeah, Gribbly, look at that.
Oh god.
Oh, it's not me.
Yeah. Whoever you threw it
All
at.
right.
Fantastic.
Another question from a hand. I kill pigeons. You have your hand up.
So, for those that don't know, I believe Gribbly posted in Discord saying the laser tag weapons were the Jumbotron weapons. In the future, are you guys open to adding, say, like a laser bow or a lightsaber? You couldn't call it that for copyright issues. You know?
Can you guys
Ooh,
quiet down
lightsaber.
while the question?
No. Laser sword.
Yeah,
Laser sword.
Oh, laser
Yeah,
sword.
like a transparent laser shield to go with it. The Rex saber, that's a good one.
Yeah, so this weekend is going to be
Yeah.
the first run where we see what generates all the excitement, get people in, look at ways to expand it. Definitely keep your eyes out for potential of different weapons, different balances, new things, whole different categories of stuff to interact with, and definitely don't limit your suggestions based on anything like that.
Okay, thank
Although
you.
I believe the stance we've taken so far is that Jumbotron is perfect, and so like they're the best guns you could possibly ask for anyway. So
That is a good point.
Yeah, that's
Especially the sound effect on the shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's officially complete.
All right.
Done. See ya. Great.
Yeah.
All
Gotta
right.
find a
Question from a new hand.
I'm learning something about the cheer system today.
Volts, do you have your hand up?
Yes.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
go ahead, Volts.
About the cheers. Maybe you could add it so when we play games and like we win games, or just maybe like an income for using. Could we get extra cheers?
There are a lot of there's a complicated system under the hood about how the cheers works. You'll have to ask Sean more about how that works next time you see him.
Give me 1 second. I gotta mute myself.
Basically, the bottom line is like play more Rec Room, be a good citizen in Rec Room, and you'll get more chairs.
I couldn't hear him.
Okay.
Oh.
Titan, you have a question?
Ooh.
Your mic cut out.
So it depends
should
what you
be.
mean by sniping. People are
You
able to
guys know
snipe
how
with
to,
our long-range
check
gun
the
pretty well, but we
cheers?
haven't done anything to add a scope or any deliberately
Oh, you
sniping
okay.
capability.
That'd be beautiful.
Like you should have a scope at least.
All right, thank you for the suggestion. What else? Anything from a new hand? Steph, I see you raising your hand over there.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question. How do I check to see how many cheers I have?
They're in the. Oh yeah, you can't. Unless you cheer someone, you can't see it.
You can. When you go
How do you check to see how many cheers you have?
The cheer though, so if you just fake a cheer. And
Oh, okay.
Wait, no. When you go like to the button that you press,
I don't-
there's someone that has the number of
That
cheers you have.
Steph, I'm not sure. It seems like other people have some ideas for how you do that. It looks like maybe cheer somebody and then don't follow through with it. You can see that way. I will give that feedback though to the cheer team. They're not here tonight, but I'll let them know.
Cheer team.
They're getting their pom poms together right now, so they're not available.
Oh, sorry, their full name is Cheer Team 6.
Cheer team 6, right? Sorry.
Where's the other two?
Natti-Lin, what do you got?
Oh, yeah.
Would it be possible for us to get a red and blue vest in sandbox mode?
Oh, the team pennies.
Interesting.
Or
Ridley,
like
what do you think
hats
about
or
that? Red
something?
and blue vest in sandbox machine.
Yeah, great idea.
That's a
Love
good
it.
question.
Yeah, and something we're working on very soon is like making it more possible to create structured games out of the sandbox machine. So having like respawn points and better like start game and stop game and better team management and scoring. So yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, just want to know. Okay. All right, we have a question for you guys. Is anyone here on PSVR right now? From hand. Anyone?
Hey! Welcome.
So a couple people on PSVR. Great.
Been a long time coming.
That's sick.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a new question. We've got, is that Jules? Is that your hand up
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
Great, go
Okay, I have
ahead.
2 questions. Is there a way we can fix the PSVR's microphones? Because they're not great. They're kind of annoying. Like, they're a little louder than all of us, and that's my biggest issue, I think, is that they're overbearing. And then the other...
Yeah, we'll be able to fix that for sure.
Okay.
That's why we're doing a beta. So right now, there's only like about 1,000 PSVR keys that we've distributed. So we haven't opened it up to the full PSVR population. And for this exact reason, so we're learning that. So yes, we will adjust that for sure.
Because, I mean, I love it, because it's been nice, because I've met more people, so it was worth it. And then the other question I have is, can we get more maker pins out of sandbox mode? Because, like, we wanted to do, when it first came out, we were like, ooh, let's do a competition. So we all went to go get maker pins, and you can only get, like, 2. Sometimes you can pull a 3rd one out. And it's when you got, like, 10 people in a room, you're like, ooh, I want to build more.
How many do you want? 10?
I just know we have a lot of people in the room.
Okay. All right. So maybe there are some challenges with as you start creating stuff with the maker pen. You can sort of because you can sort of unlimited create a bunch of stuff. It's possible to overload the room and have too much physics and crash the game. So we're trying to find the right balance of
maybe
of that.
4. I mean, that would be at least then like 4 people at a time could have a competition because that's what we did.
That's kind of
It's kind of fun to do competitions. Like we have fun with that.
Okay. Yeah, and we definitely love
that. Might be an idea for a game too.
Pedro or Votivator, who works on the maker pen, he was at the competition watching it because he was very excited to see what people were building.
Yeah, we do them privately in our own rooms too now.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So
that's great.
it kind of gets kept going.
So we want to support you on that. So yeah, we'll definitely look into it.
Okay.
Okay, we got a question from Jack Merlin, and then I see a couple hands over here. We'll go to next.
Mine is a 2-parter for you guys. So you guys have a million ideas of things you want to add to the game, and it's like this massive plan, I imagine, but you have to economize time. So like, what
Yeah,
gave
you know
the
that
idea?
massive plan we have?
That one.
Yeah, the massive.
I'm not trying to get on stage.
Yeah, taking over the world plan,
Yeah.
Oasis style. What made you guys? Where'd the idea of laser tag come from, and why did you choose to do it now?
Yeah. So, if anyone doesn't have a better answer, basically, we have had a lot of fun playing in Jumbotron, and we know a lot of you have had a lot of fun playing there too. And so, you know, we wanted to keep adding things to like the paintball experience, but without breaking that for the people that really love what's there. And so this was a really great opportunity to, you know, play around with some new stuff, kind of get a as clean a slate as you can get, and build out new fun multiplayer games for us to play with you guys using these really fun tools we already had.
Yeah.
I have an answer too. It's laser tag is awesome.
Another big part of the discussion for laser tag was that we have these two pretty popular segments that people go to. One is entirely competitive in paintball, and then we have quests, which people also really like, and I think they enjoy some of the we work together. So with laser tag, we were really after something that is fun in the same way as quest is, and you get to compete and cooperate.
That's what I was wondering. Awesome, thank you.
That's awesome. Also, you might see some robots in laser tag with you, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Get hype! Let's go to cheer deposit for the next question.
Hype train.
Oh yeah. Regarding the laser tag game mode.
Also,
the maps. Are they just gonna be like sliced parts of Jumbotron, or are they going to be separate maps?
No.
My question.
Yeah,
wait till 5 o'clock.
Definitely, for everything related to laser tag, could change over time. In building this initial mode, I did 3 different maps. The one you see today is a whole new one.
Ooh.
Also,
Wow.
Drummer Geek had a
Yeah,
question over here
definitely
over a
started
while.
with, like, we just chopped out a section of a Jumbotron level, play in there.
Did you get your question?
For the mode that we have up
I'll
today,
ask him.
it made sense to build it all on this new map, so that's what you'll get to play. But expect all that to change.
Yeah.
Hellfish, what question do you have?
It's not really a question, it's just more of a suggestion. There were just 2 game modes I was thinking of. I was kind of thinking of like a bowling mode and then a boxing mode.
Yes.
Yes.
Baseball,
Wow,
hockey, football.
these are very novel and fresh ideas. But hang on, look.
Wow.
Boxing ever come up?
How long was that? What's the time on this?
I'm going to build bowling as we speak.
Hellfish, there's a recurring
in the rec
theme.
center.
Every Q&A, someone asks us about boxing, so that's happened again. So thank you for providing that.
You guys made it a while.
To be fair, that's entirely our fault.
In the
That is true.
Yeah, we actually paid Hellfish
No,
to
no,
ask that question.
no, it's entirely Cam's fault.
And I just talked about bowling today with T-Money, one of our artists. So it's definitely something we're talking about.
That'll be really cool.
Use the ovals for the bowling pin.
Scion, how about you?
I have
The
a couple
cylinders.
questions.
Works really
The
well.
first
I've already
is,
made them.
In Sandbox, do you guys have
And used them.
plans to, like say when you play paintball or when you play the laser tag, to maybe design your own course where you add in fences and those obstacles to hide behind, and you could even do it on like on the disc golf course or anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gribbly, do we have any plans for using sandbox mode to design your own paintball stuff?
Yes.
And then
You wanna talk more about that?
There you go.
He's thinking.
And then my second question, I guess, is more of a suggestion. But have you ever thought of, you know how you have the shield soccer, making a soccer field where you have the built-in like ultimate frisbee, where we could actually go and play that without having someone, you know, like Mama Monkey setting it up for everybody, where you could play every day, you know?
Strike.
Yeah, my hope is that I know Gribbly's working on some stuff soon with the sandbox machine to make it a little easier for you guys to make some games with it. And so my hope is that you'll get stuff like paintball on maps you create and stuff like Ultimate in the soccer arena that you guys will be able to run through using the sandbox machine.
I know that once people can make Ultimate Frisbee easily, I'll definitely play it. It's a really fun mode idea.
Yeah, the next thing we're doing with Sandbox mode is adding game states to Sandbox so that you have like when you play paintball, you have pre-game, You press start on the scoreboard. You spawn onto the spawn points. You play until someone hits a score or a time, and then you go back to like the start area. So we're going to add that to Sandbox so that the games can be more structured. So something we're looking at. Something that we're looking at next update is spawn points for the players that you can get out of the Sandbox machine and that you can put them around the wherever you want. So you could go to the park and you could put spawn points everywhere. And then when you hit start, everyone will spawn on those spawn points and you can play a game. The scores will go to the scoreboard, stuff like that. And then when we plan to just build out Sandbox mode over time so you can create all kinds of games. That's the plan.
All right, let's get a new hand up. Who haven't we heard from yet? Matt Damon, how about you? What question do you have?
Yeah. Are you guys looking at the Pimax AK? Is that going to be like supported out of the box? How does that work?
I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what that is?
That's a headset.
Yeah, it's a we haven't really discussed it explicitly. Is it working with
It's stuck to your butt.
It works with Steam VR.
So,
I think.
expectation is that it will work.
It doesn't have controllers though, does it? I don't know.
Forgot
It
something
uses
else.
the it uses the Vive controllers.
One of my kids.
In general, Rec Room should work. I'm sure that everything will be perfect and there'll be no problems, and it certainly won't break everything.
We should probably quadruple the resolution of every asset too.
There you go. I think it's a good idea. Yeah.
Although you are missing.
And while we've been having this conversation, you've seen that Gribbly has built bowling in the background. So
Oh, hey,
that's
where's
already
Greg?
done.
I already saw that the whole time.
Yeah.
Bowling 2018 coming
That
soon.
doesn't even look like new anybody who hasn't asked a question before?
What's a funny follow-up actually? So with the Pimax, I'm sure we'll hear about people that have experiences good and bad with it. And it's sort of been an ongoing thing for us. I know occasionally we'll get these reports and emails from people saying like, "Man, Rec Room stopped working on the Vive that I made." And what they mean was I had a DK2 and I like finagled PSVR controllers to work somehow, and it doesn't work very well. Well, okay, yeah.
In the background.
It doesn't work on the Vive you made. But we do take those things seriously and we listen to the reports, and so if it's not working well, just let us know.
Okay.
I'm gonna make bowling work, but by the end of this Q&A,
let's
I swear.
go. Let's go.
Why is it always flying space?
Okay.
I did this before.
So, one of the things that I really like to do is actually stream Rec Room
looks
on
like a
Twitch.
Jenga block.
So when you guys added the stream mixer in there, that's really
can you make
awesome. I
Jenga?
really enjoyed using that. Do you guys have any other ideas or plans for increasing like your Twitch support to try to encourage more streamers, like set up multiple in-game cameras, things like that?
Well,
Gribbly, any or good? What do you got? Ready
I was just gonna say, for starters, that's a great outfit.
Is it doing Jenga?
Thank you.
Yeah.
But as somebody who, I haven't worked on any of the streaming capability we have, but I strongly believe that a way that we can make Rec Room kind of get outside of VR more is to work on the watchability and the way, people like yourself can totally show the game.
Yeah, I think something that we want to try and do in the short term is we used to have the streamer cam that was like the follow cam, that was like the kind of third person, and we've currently taken that out, and I've had a lot of requests to add that back in. So we'll look at that.
Really? I thought that was in there.
We work queued up to make audio support better for streaming, because
Be quiet.
in an event like this, it can be hard to hear everybody when you're streaming. So not 100% sure. We actually were discussing earlier today, could we do it this update? And we're not quite sure yet, but I think we can probably get at least the third-person streaming cam back in soon.
Cool. And yeah, and if there are specific things that you think would go a long way, feel free to post on our subreddit and Discord.
Probably a Twitch feed, probably would help.
All right. Anyone who hasn't asked a question, or I'll go to someone who has. Oh, we got somebody's pointing. There's lots of pointing. Robert, what question do you have?
Okay. I have
no
two
one
questions.
cares that I made bowling?
All
right, fine.
No, I'm trying to find out what is limiting me in making objects or how much paint you can use out of the gun. And it seems to be if you make an object, you can make more of them. Where if you and link them together, like if you link a a free ribbon together or a free tube together, it takes less, and you can make more.
Hey, please stop
So
talking.
how can I find out what is the limiting factor on actually how much paint you can use out of the gun?
Please stop talking.
So good question. I will say it is not particularly well tuned yet. So it will give you feedback with like the amount of ink that's left.
What is happening? This is gonna lag my game
this
out.
thing in the back. But for this update, we refactored the pen pretty completely. So I would play with it again and see if it makes more sense to you. But yeah, our units for measuring how much stuff you can build are not really well thought through yet.
Okay. The other thing that would help when you're trying to make a large wall from the block, right now you can only go with how far you can walk in your room scale.
Right.
In a future update, could you make it where we could teleport so we could go a farther distance?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be teleporting, but we definitely are thinking about a way to let you make much larger things so that you can do more like level design. That is definitely a goal.
Okay, last thing. I'm sure you are aware about the event we're doing for Priscilla tonight.
Oh yes, I have heard about that. That's pretty cool.
Well, right. Okay. Well, I'm doing the room. Okay. So as far as one of the things that would help, if you would have a camera from the sandbox that you could like post on a pole.
No.
What? Someone is reporting to everybody.
That's just not nice. Wow.
Hey guys, don't vote kick people that are in the middle of asking questions.
Can we invite him back?
Yeah, I'll put him on the friends list.
Okay, thank you.
It'll probably be
All right.
full by then.
We've got a question over here from Steph.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know if, like, you know how when you go to the paintball, I don't know if this is how you guys wanted it, but when you try and move, you can't move as fast as, like, normal. You kind of move kind of slow. So are you guys planning on fixing that, or is that something that you wanted?
The question was how fast you can teleport in sandbox mode?
No, in paintball. Is it intentional that it's slower when you're teleporting in paintball?
I have him blocked already.
Yes. Yeah, so the teleport duration in paintball is just tuned against how fast the weapon projectiles travel. And it's not like it'll never change, but it's in a place where you'll get
not my friend. He's the only person in here blocked.
Also, I had another question, if that's okay.
I'm watching the trash.
Yeah.
Hang on. Everyone quiet down. Let's just have one voice in the room from the person who's asking the question. Go ahead, Steph. Finish what you're saying.
Question?
Yeah, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Is there any way that only during that game that you could, like, change, so, like, you know how you can see where I want to go? Is there any way you can change that? Or is that also something that you wanted?
Change it how?
In paintball or in a
like,
custom
so,
game?
like, I can't see it, you know?
The projection
bubble.
of yourself?
Yeah.
It's
because it kind of gives you
pretty
away.
important for playing paintball so that you can know where someone's going to go. When you're teleporting around and you have basically no idea where someone's going to move, it can be kind of frustrating. But that's an interesting idea to maybe make it a thing that's configurable in custom games or something. But I don't know if we really talked about that. But
okay.
Thanks for the question, Steph.
Thank you.
How about new question here from Pyro? What do you got, Pyro?
Are you guys working on any new quests that are gonna come soon?
Josh, ready employer, what do you think?
We're working on laser tag. You need to play that really soon.
You guys are
so
being
I hope you have a
really
good time.
Stop talking.
And
I
let
wanna
us know
play
what you
that.
think about it.
I'm really excited to play it.
Expect some new concepts.
Moo Goo, do you have a
That's all I'm
question?
gonna say.
Oh, Justin, you guys should make another quest.
Yeah, hello. Do you have, I know this is kind of touchy, but do you have any plans for like future monetization yet? Or...
No specific plans. It's definitely something we've talked about. And ultimately we want to get there. Ultimately we got to pay for all this stuff. So we've thought about a few different things. We've talked about on our Steam store page. We might do kind of like cosmetic items or something down the road, but honestly we're not in a hurry to do that. Like our real agenda is we want as many people playing VR and playing Rec Room as possible, and so we're able to kind of keep the game free. The way we think about it is we're always going to have a free version of the game. You'll always be able to come into Rec Room for free, at some point we're going to figure out, like, there will be some paid features. But yeah, to answer your question directly, like, we don't have any specific plans right now, and we don't have any, we're not likely to roll it out anytime soon.
All right.
Ways
Thank you.
to deliver pizzas to your house.
Oh no.
Natti-Lin, what's your question?
I've noticed I've had a hard time using the stream mixer. Like, the frame rate drops incredibly, and earlier just trying to play with it in my dorm room caused my computer to crash. So I wanted to mention that, but also it would be really awesome if we had some sort of spatial recognition for voices. So if someone's on the other side of the rec room, you can't hear them until you get within a radius.
Thoughts on that?
I think that's really very fair feedback. Yeah. It's tough. The streamer cam, right? It's an expensive thing for a computer to do, and so like
I haven't
when
had
you're
problems
streaming
with it recently, though, until a couple updates ago.
Oh, you
Oh,
think
okay.
they've gotten worse?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, it was working
Okay.
just fine. Normally, I just play in third-person view anyway with the camera on. And once I noticed with the custom rooms being created and the multiple cameras in the park, as soon as I started using those, I haven't been able to use the stream cam ever again.
Interesting.
Good to know. Thank you.
Gribbly and I were talking earlier today about improvements that we might want to make to the streamer cam, so it's definitely something that's on our mind.
Something we haven't looked at for a while, and we need to.
I think it's probably
Jacob,
having
what do you
all
got?
those
Nope.
views
Hang
on
on.
one watch.
I've got to jump out to deal with an emergency. So,
Okay.
Like, nothing serious. We just got a bug that I've got to go fix on the server side, so I got to jump out. Say bye to everyone.
See you, Gribbly.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
Exit stage right.
Jacob, what's your question?
All right. I'm kind of new to the Q&A. Like, can you explain to me what the laser tag is going to be like and how it is going to be different from paintball?
I bet one of these guys can.
You have health.
Yeah.
You have health, basically.
So laser tag is going to be available this weekend. So it's going to be available from in about 20 minutes up until the end of Sunday. And so it's going to be a competitive team-based shooting game where you have other players and the robots from Jumbotron on your team. And your job is to go and, tag as many of the opponents as you can. And so really, we're not quite ready to actually be done with it yet. We've got a lot of work to do, and we want to make sure we're going in the right direction. So we're getting it to you guys really early, just for the weekend, just for a little taste. And we want to hear a lot about what you have to think. So make sure to tell us on Discord, on Reddit, and let us know your thoughts so we can make sure that we take it in a direction that is fun for us and fun for you.
Okay, and also, are there gonna be any new Jumbotron weapons caused by this?
Definitely possible, none yet.
Alright.
Like,
That'd be a good
idea. Well, you always do add, all the paintball weapons are similar to, the, Jumbotron weapons. Unless you have anything else in mind. Like, I don't know much about guns and stuff, but yeah, you might.
So we need people who know a lot about lasers.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, well, laser designs and...
But safe, fun.
But yeah, that is all entirely inbound. Any ideas you have for weapons or gadgets or anything you think would add to the mode, please share it with us.
All right, Hellfish, what's your question?
You think we can at least limit the reports?
How do you mean?
Like, so people only have a limited amount of reports they can do. I've noticed, like, an infinite amount of reports going on lately.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can talk to Sean. Sean's our guy who thinks about that kind of stuff and let him know that's an idea that came out, for sure. Juju Plays, what's your question?
Okay, so I was thinking of like a new game mode for like paintball and the new laser tag. So basically, instead of like capture the flag and like team deathmatch or something, I was thinking of like defend your base. Like for laser tag, like you can have a bunch of robots and like the people try to shoot down points of your base, and they have to like attack it until it's like at like the last part of its health.
What do you think about that idea, guys?
It's
I
an
love it.
interesting idea. Yeah.
Quick, just like to say, Sean's actually online.
We Juju plays. We actually play tested a version of laser tag that had a lot of similarities to what you're saying. So we'll see if it evolves in that way in the future.
Honestly, I think
Okay.
it's probably not a matter of if that happens. I'm sure it will at some point.
Yep. Toxic Twid, I don't think we've heard from you yet. What's your question?
Do you think that you could try to find some type of way to stop people from reporting you for no reason and then you get kicked?
Squid?
I don't know anything about Rocket at the moment.
I think your question was just us.
Yeah, so the last question was like maybe limit the amount of reports people have, and Toxic Squid, you're saying like you feel like you're getting reports for no reason?
Yeah, and in fact, I've actually gotten on my watch, not super recently, but it just said vote kick for no reason.
Okay, fair enough. Like I said to the last person on the vote kick stuff, I'll pass it along to Sean. He's not here today, but he's our guy who thinks about that stuff, so I'll let him know. Unless you guys have anything to add on that.
Not really. I think
Okay.
I think we're constantly working on those kinds of features. We always want to make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. We're always iterating on that system. I got a new question from Dino Man over there.
Yeah, so with the weekly challenge, it seems like the skins are following a kind of seasonal approach. So like this month you've had the ghost skins that follow with Halloween. Is that going to be a common theme, or is it going to vary with the different months?
I think we'll do a mix of seasonally themed skins and other skins. We might do tied to something in the game. We might just do random patterns that we think look cool, or we might tie it to a real world event like Halloween.
Like a Christmas sword.
Yeah, winter even. Yeah. So Jack, what's your question?
Or like an ice, ice dagger.
So a while ago when Gribbly released that Jumbotron video, that trailer, I was blown away because like it looked like he was using some sort of like camera in game to like cut up like
I did that.
filmic kind of trailer. And you guys have been making so many steps to allow filmmakers like me and a lot of other people I know to make films within Rec Room, like the Maker Pen and all that. Is there any chance of seeing something like where it's like a camera that I can mount over here and hit record on like a tripod, or is that possible?
As soon as they open
T-Money, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, a little bit. So I was actually the one who made the trailers up until recently, but yeah, no. So there's a bunch of features that we have internally that are not ready for public use yet. They're pretty gross. They're pretty janky. But they have there's certain things like I have like a dolly camera that can place the thing here and place the thing there, and it goes like that, right? Which is really cool. Yeah. But basically the idea is we think yes eventually. I'm not going to guarantee anything. Obviously, I can't speak for Gribbly, but like they just need a lot of love because they're really janky, and we made them like really quickly just to get the trailers done. So they're just not ready basically. Like they just need a lot of work.
So how are they
Awesome.
any
And then I had a
different from
really
anything
quick
else?
second part. My visor has been stuck in the 80s.
How did you get
Is there
all the way
any
up
chance
there?
that the bug with the visor will be fixed soon? Because I don't know how much longer I can rock the blue and pink.
I mean, you can just take the visor off.
Oh, it used to be gold. I used to have this beautiful gold visor, and now I'm like stuck in the retro age.
I love the pink.
I
Can
would
we make
say
skins
that is
for-
what the visor looks like now. We might make another visor in the future that.
Give it about 3 years and we'll be in the 90s.
Yeah, I saw that tear coming, Jack. I think we had a question from somebody new over here. Pseudo Spring, what's your question?
me that we're still in the 80s in this game.
My question is like, this is the kind of game that would like
Yeah.
an airsoft mode in it, like not just paintball but airsoft.
So-
the same thing to be honest. I know, but like,
the same.
You would think just that. Oh no, wait, there's something already bugging out.
How do you see airsoft and paintball being different?
well, I mean, like in this game.
Well,
they,
for
like,
one
have,
thing,
like, the
airsoft bullets are
realistic-
plastic BBs, paintball so.
I see.
This is Rec Room. Nothing's real.
Trouble in Terrortown, Airsoft for Pavlov, Cartoon for Pavlov, and Modbox.
Yeah.
Airsoft
We
Trouble in
draw with a
Terrortown.
magical pen. I don't think this
Certainly
game's
not
supposed to be
any time in the near future. We're indexing on laser tag to get some of the depth and skill out of the game. Something like airsoft is today just we're going to index more on the nostalgic and high imagination stuff.
Trouble in
But
Terrortown.
you'll like
Airsoft.
laser tag a lot. I hope. I think.
I think so.
I know
Please.
they will.
Mighty, did you have a question?
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm actually like probably like 20 questions, but I don't want to do that here because it seems to be more about the game.
Let's
Would you guys
pick
ever
your favorite question.
Rapid fire, 2 seconds per question.
Would you guys ever consider doing one of these from way more technical stuff? Like,
yeah, I think so.
Questions about the servers, the Unity development, all of it.
Yeah, I think so. And also, you can ask that stuff on Discord, and we can put the right people to answer those questions for you. Yeah.
And all right, so real quick, while I have a second, add ping times to the scoreboards or like something in your wrist, because we just want to stop guessing and blaming ping and making and thinking it might be a problem, but not being able to look at the numbers to know.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please.
Is it specifically in paintball? Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody lags in paintball a lot.
Note taken, Mighty.
Thank you.
Stefan, question from you?
When are you going to be adding the next quest?
Not today.
New art from me in a while.
Oh man, that was perfect timing. I thought he rezzed out. Not today,
Mike.
All right, well, see ya.
If they don't answer soon, it's a while.
So obviously you guys
So
are
there's
coming
red
out
NIMS and blue NIMS
with
and
like the
white
first
NIMS
kind
and
of
all that stuff.
version of laser tag this weekend, but surely you guys have a bunch of other stuff in the works. I'm curious to hear from each of you, like within bounds of what you can say, what are like the 1 or 2 other things that you guys are really excited about that you're working on right now?
Confidential, my friend.
The biggest one for me is more of a initiative than a particular thing, but building more personal expressiveness into you and your avatar.
So that's not working either. Okay.
I'm really excited about that as a general direction.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Thanks.
I'm really excited about laser tag kind of growing as after we've released it. You know, like look at a lot of our quests and they're kind of just
Why can't I hear you?
And
Motivator.
we fix some bugs, but we don't really, you know, to work on a quest is to make another one, really. And so
Later.
having the opportunity to kind of like work on laser tag in the same way that we work on all of Rec Room, and you know, work with you guys to get a lot of feedback and make it better and make it something that you really love more over time really excites me. Not just for laser tag in particular, but also just as a model for making games for Rec Room going forward.
It's like you've got the service, and then you've got the service.
Whoa! The thing that I'm thinking about a lot right now is the experience that we have for our new users coming in. So when a person new to Rec Room, how they first encounter the game, what we show them, how we teach them what they need to know to move around, how we introduce them to people. That's something that I focus a lot of my time on right now, and I'm enjoying.
Would you consider avatars, or would you consider like a chaperone? People like been around for a while. I enjoy helping people when they come in, show them around.
Yes, Grotto King, that is definitely something that we've talked about, trying to pair new users with experienced users that have a good reputation in the game. Yeah. All right, how are we doing on time? Yeah, we got time for a couple more. Let's go to Cheer Deposit.
Oh gosh.
No, it's even got a little.
Oh yeah, the latest update introduced like this clock bug. Like, when you get near to a person with the ignore bubble on, sometimes the clock disappears.
Yeah, we are aware of that one. I think we even have a fix for it. We just didn't get it in time for the
We've
for the show.
fixed it,
So
but
it'll be
we
out,
haven't
hopefully in our
pushed
next
a patch yet.
We'll have a fix for that. Okay. Thank you.
Are you in here?
It's actually a hard rule of the universe. It's like Moore's law. You can't have a watch next to someone. So it actually makes it possible.
It makes you
Yeah,
that much harder while you're playing
Put
laser
someone
tag.
with an ignore bubble on it. Happens.
I
mean, you can still use it, but you just can't.
Otto, what's your question?
Do you have like almost idea of when laser tag is going out based on, like, or is it more based on what we think of it? Do you have a roadmap?
You mean when they'll release it fully?
Yeah. Or at least the betas that we can play.
Well, the beta's going live in 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Oh, that was the alpha.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, the alpha is in 10 minutes, sorry. But you get to play it, and that's really, I think, what matters, right? And so...
Yes.
Oh gosh. Oh,
And so there's no set plans for when we're gonna leave it in the game for a long period of time.
Alright, thank you.
Mugu, what's your question?
Alright, so, this is just something I've noticed that holds back a lot of my friends from playing this game. There's like Not many, like a lot of the mini games are action based, I guess is a way to put it. Like the only one that they fit in to like what they want to do is charades. So I was wondering if you guys were thinking about doing more stuff like that. Like, have you played Werewolves Within? It's kind of like a
bowling.
Sure, yeah, like
Oh, it's like
social
trying to say them in VR.
Yeah.
Like a bowling game.
Yeah. So first of all, I love that you spend a lot of time playing charades. I like charades a lot. Another thing, not anytime soon, but we are going to start looking into, like in Rec Room, we have a lot of very active, high-demanding, physically demanding games to play. I would imagine at some point there will be more things to be in that sort of I'm ready to relax and kind of unwind
Just
type
sit
of
down and
activity.
chat games.
Bring back poker chip. I'm happy about that. Yeah. Thank you.
We need chips back.
Thanks.
Poker chip.
Toasty Buns, do you have a question?
I can't see or hear Josh.
You can't see or hear Josh.
No, he's
Do you have Josh ignored?
No,
I have you ignored because you were blasting the thing in my face.
Oh, Josh did you ignored. That's why.
Pyro, can you get your bum out my face?
There we go. Hey,
All right.
don't blast me in the face.
All right, who else? Is there any people who haven't asked a question yet?
I did. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go to Juju. No, we're gonna go to Volts.
I'm raking in the karma today.
Okay, right.
Sorry, Juju.
So, with the makeup, I can't see my hands.
I've got more cheers.
So with the makeup pen, I've been seeing like when I place an object and try and place it into the ground, it like really sticks to me, even though it's like say I place an item by there, it still sticks to me.
Oh,
Okay.
So how do I fix that? Because I'm trying to place an
Volts
item into the ground.
or Votivator, did you hear this question?
Wait, what was it?
The question was that sometimes the object will stick to you instead of sticking to the ground. Like, how do you get the maker pen objects to stick where you want them to?
So it's kind of unintuitive at the moment, but usually if it moves, it's like priority for sticking. So if you like release it and your hand's intersecting with it and the ground is intersecting with it, then it'll stick to your hand instead of the ground. So basically, if you
I'm
wanted
trying
to
to get into the ground and it starts to stick to me for some reason. Like on my body, like none of my hands are touching it, but like my body.
The hitboxes for the bodies are very big.
The hit button.
Right. Yeah. So if you want to like for sure stick it into the ground, you can like tilt your head downwards so your torso is going back. And then, like, so like, give me.
When I did that.
Can you toss me the maker pen? Or...
My headset just fell
Is
off
it?
when I
Oh,
did
it's
that.
gone. Never mind.
gone,
It's
yeah.
gone. Never mind.
6 minutes.
But yeah, basically, make sure that nothing that moves is intersecting with what you want to stick to something static.
Okay. Well, and I have another question. With the trolls in these events saying like vote kicking everyone, I was thinking of making a host option so where only the hosts can kick the people. So like no other people in the thing can kick.
That'd be a good idea.
That is on my list, Volts. I definitely want to get to that at some point.
That's a good idea.
What if the host just decides to randomly kick people? That could happen too.
Well, it's their event though.
It's a lot less
so
likely.
They
Then
can do what they want.
that's what they want to do. All right, we're gonna go to Juju Plays, and then I'll get
Also,
you Pyro.
we're coming up on
Okay.
about 4 minutes till laser tag's open.
All right.
Oh,
Two
yeah.
more questions left.
2 or 3 more questions.
All right. I'm gonna answer this quick. What Mugu said about like action-based like activities. Do you think you can make like card games and like board games, that stuff, like so people that don't want to do like outdoor activities can like stay in the lounge and just play games there?
I totally want that.
Yes.
We have a lot of board game players in the office, so it's definitely something we talk about.
Hey, I have a question.
Pyro?
Okay, first off, I just want to start by saying thank you for porting this to PlayStation VR.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you for playing on PlayStation VR.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the new update coming out, with the new junior, non-junior, does that mean minors are now allowed in this game? Or like under 13?
Sorry, I did not hear that question. I was being pushed around in real life.
With the new update coming out, with the junior, non-junior system, does that mean that they like under 13 is now allowed in this game?
Yes. I mean, when Gribbly is on, he can talk more to this, but really all this is a way for juniors to self-identify as juniors.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
It's a little more. Yeah.
Natti-Lin, what's your question?
I think Drummer's had his hand up for a while.
Oh, great. A redirected drummer. Sorry, I didn't see a drummer. No problem. Just real quick, one thing I've been thinking about with the laser tag coming out is it would be really cool if the reload mechanic that the Jumbotron guns had was incorporated into the paintball guns. So you had an option to play it to where you didn't have unlimited ammo. You had to actually reload.
No.
That was
Let's
it.
consider laser tag a prototype for that.
I don't. Also, drummer.
There's definitely some dissenting opinions about that.
Who wants to pass up so we can go to laser
All right.
tag?
Any new hands? We've got maybe 1 or 2 more questions.
Hello.
Make it harder for you guys.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Who hasn't asked a question yet? What's up? All right, Noble. Yeah, what do you got?
I don't know if I'm supposed to ask it. If I'm supposed to ask it here about the new 3D gun, thing.
Yeah, you can ask 3D gun questions.
Pen.
Yeah.
So I didn't really understand what the new thing was with the play option. So like, what does that mean?
Votivator, can you explain the play option that now exists in the Maker Pen?
Yeah. So now, so you can make more complex stuff without having to stick a bunch of things to each other. You can, when you start making things with the Maker Pen, they'll like stay in 0G, and you can like grab them around, move them around, however you want. And then when you're done and you want to like make it a physical object that collides with stuff and everything, you just hit the play button on the Maker Pen menu, and it'll drop to the ground, and it'll collide well with stuff. Not like before that, like half of it would go through the ground, like a little piece of it would stay on top. It can still stick to stuff, but the sticking is not as complex as before. Like, it doesn't form these trees of things. It just sticks to something.
Grab it while you're building.
No, you cannot. You cannot grab other people's while they're in edit mode. And once you put it into play mode, you can like grab it and put your pen into edit mode and put it on the extrusion and just bring it back to edit mode and make changes to it. So you can go back and forth between edit and play mode.
So you can detach things
that makes a lot more
from each other.
Right, yes.
Oh.
All right, last question before we all go play laser tag.
We will customize our rec room.
Hang on, Dexter. Hero's gonna ask.
Wait a minute. How long is it gonna? How long?
Bro, I made it in.
People are killed by looking through the walls.
5 years.
Oh, that's very helpful.
Like 10.
I don't know who's talking, actually. Hey everyone, we got one person talking here. Everyone else can please be quiet for a sec. Hero, I'm sorry, say that again.
While looking through walls, I noticed that in paintball, people put their gun through the walls and killed me.
I see. Radiant Close, Josh, any thoughts about?
So we're not planning any big changes to how that system works, but the way it should work is if they're inside something they can't fire out. So if there are specific areas you know of where it works, where it shouldn't, let us know and we can take a look.
Can you answer my question?
All right, I think is it time to go to
Is
the
it time?
lever and like turn on the arena?
Yep, I think we yes, please. Yes.
Where's the lever?
It's 8.
Thank you.
Give us some feedback. Let me know what you think.
Really nice talking to you guys.
Can you tell everyone how to get there?
Yeah, B-Boss, how do they get there?
How do they get there?
What's that? Tag. So you go to the rec center and then go through the featured event door. That should
I don't think so.
Whew. Oh, too many people. Oh, that was lagging out real bad. I think their server is trying to handle some things. Okay, I'm gonna go leave and then make sure the game is up to date. And then I'll be right back with some laser tag. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all the fun stuff. I will see you guys in a couple minutes.